If a woman is with a mother-enmeshed man, she could be deeply frustrated and fed up. She may have been with him for a number of months, or it could be even longer and could amount to years. And so an area of her life that should generally have a positive effect on her will be greatly undermining her. And she may believe that the only way that this area of her life will change is if the man changes, because she may have made a number of changes herself, tried to be more tolerant and more patient, more understanding, but this may not have had much of an effect. And so it will be down to the man to change in order for this area of her life to change. But of course, as time goes by, she could shake out of this view and think that it's time for her to draw the line and to walk away, because she will come to see that as the man is not willing to face reality, she is wasting her life. But until this happens, she can believe and even say this to the man, that he needs to essentially grow up and that he is now a man, not a boy, so he needs to act like one. And this could be something that is said in a very understanding way, or it could be said in a very critical manner. And from the outside, it could be said that this is an accurate assessment, because he will be a man, and so he now is able to live his own life. He can stand his ground. He doesn't need to be there for his mother. He doesn't need his mother to survive, of course. So there is no reason why he shouldn't act like a man. Because in general, he can be passive and allow his mother and others to walk over him. And his anger can come out sideways, so he can often be passive-aggressive and depressed. But when he is around his mother, he can appear to be very mature. So he can come across as selfless and very responsible. So to some people, they will believe that he is very mature. But behind the scenes, and in other cases, he will act very childlike. And another way of looking at this is that, yes, on one level, he does need to grow up. But it doesn't mean that he can simply grow up overnight. So using the power of his mind, so willpower, to change his behavior and change his thoughts, this is not going to allow him to truly grow up. It may allow him to change his behavior for a short while, but before long he will revert most likely to how he was before. It's a bit like someone who's addicted to alcohol. They could have an argument with someone and say that they will change, and then in the beginning they could. But sooner or later, because what's going on at a deeper level has not been dealt with, they will return to how they were before. So in order for the man to grow up, he will need to deal with what is taking place at a deeper level. So he will need to emotionally grow up, and he will need to work through his pain, because the reason why he is underdeveloped is most likely due to what took place during his early years and the impact that this had on him. So when he was a small boy, his mother probably used him to meet some of her adult and unmet childhood needs, and so his needs would have largely been overlooked, and he would have had to have developed a false self where he would have focused on his mother and been super tuned into her needs and did what she wanted. And of course this is the same role that he will play now that he's an adult. And if he didn't focus on her needs, he may have been punished, disapproved of, and or abandoned. And most likely this took place anyway. And so he would have been physically abandoned, and he would have been emotionally abandoned. His true self would have been overlooked and ended up going into hiding. And so many years will have passed since that stage of his life, but he will still be in this developmentally stunted state. And so, of course, changing the stuff that's taking place on the surface, so his thoughts, his beliefs and his behavior, is not going to cut it. The pain that he experienced as a child as a result of his needs not being met will need to be faced and worked through. And as this happens, he will gradually be able to grow up. And this is a process that's unlikely to be over in a matter of weeks or months or even years. He could be working through his pain forever. But of course, this doesn't mean that his life won't change as time goes by. And so if you're a man and you can relate to this and you want to grow up emotionally, to step into your own power, to live your own life, to listen to your needs, and to feel comfortable in your own skin, then you may need to reach out for external support. And this can be from a therapist or a healer, and through having someone who can hold the space for you, you will be able to go where you perhaps wouldn't go by yourself, and to gradually work through your pain, and so you can gradually emotionally grow up and feel like an adult as opposed to a powerless and abandoned child. So if you can relate to this, please reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually change your life. To find out more about the services that I offer and how I can assist you on your journey, go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk. I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.